Hey, it's Ethan with ComTech. So today I wanted to go over, unfortunately, another scam or ransomware type event, or not scam, but definitely a ransomware event that has hit a larger company. You probably have already heard about this, but I wanted to go through it and just reiterate some of the points that I've made in the past. So if you're watching this and you have seen my Change Healthcare hack that happened a few months ago, or you've seen the ABSS phishing scam, it's somewhat similar. It's somewhat similar slides. It's all a lot of the same points, but hopefully I get to make them again, unfortunately. So first thing is, I have a disclaimer on this because I'm not picking on these companies. I am just trying to show that this can happen to anyone. You'll see here in a moment how large CDK is. If you've watched the Change Healthcare, they're very, very large. So this can happen to anyone. And the main point is, let's use this as an example to learn from these companies and these events so that way they don't happen to our companies. Now, first thing is, who is CDK? They are a software company specifically for auto dealerships. They may have other pieces of software, I'm not sure. I know that they are in pretty much every car dealership that I know. They service, according to the data I found online, roughly about 15,000 auto dealerships here in the U.S. So they're quite large. And the next bullet point is they do about $2 billion in annual sales. So I put that on there just to reiterate that this can happen to absolutely anyone. Somebody that does $2 billion in sales, it's not like they don't have some sort of a cybersecurity plan, some sort of a IT team. They have thought about this stuff. It still happens. We can still learn from it. So here's the quick timeline, and this is, like I said, a very rough timeline. I'm definitely leaving a lot out because I want to keep this video short, and it may not be completely applicable. But they got hit with a cyber attack on 6/19 in the morning. In the afternoon, unfortunately, they got hit again. So they got hit twice in one day, which is not fun at all. And then on 6/22, they started letting everybody know, hey, the restoration is in process, and it's going to take, according to them, quote unquote, several days. Now, I wanted to pause a moment here because I want you to think about, if you're an auto dealership and you're using this software, imagine if your software that runs your whole business, your financing department, your sales for your inventory, everything, if your software comes back after a couple of days and says, hey, this is going to take many days to restore. It's a serious business disruptor. So 6/28 system started coming back online slowly. Again, this is a rough timeline that may have been a couple days before or a couple days after, depending on what dealership it was. I saw them rolling it out slowly. And then finally, they came out and said, hey, on July 4th, dealerships are all expected to be back online. But you can see from 6/19 to 7/4, you're talking about a couple of weeks where it's a lot. So it's a bad situation. I mean, there's no way around that. So what can we learn? I've already said this is an issue for absolutely all of us. So we just need to know that these threats are out there and we need to have a plan for it. Back to the basics. I'm going to show you some basics here in just a moment that are definitely what I recommend just for the low-hanging fruit. I put this slide in here with the Change Healthcare. I haven't heard any more government involvement coming down on CDK because I'm assuming the government is probably not as concerned if auto sales go down compared to healthcare like it was with Change Healthcare. But I left this point in here because I still expect the government's going to continually get more and more involved in trying to protect the citizens, and they're going to pass laws and make everybody have cybersecurity insurance, or everybody do this. I'm not saying specifics, but that's what is to be expected. So let's talk about the basics that are very free that you can absolutely do. So check your password policy. Make sure that no one's using password or something super simple. Do you have multi-factor authentication set up on everything that you possibly can? Your email, your login to your computer, or your login to all your social media sites for your business, whatever it may be. If it can have multi-factor authentication, definitely do that. Multiple layers of security. That is you're not just, you don't have one antivirus on your machine and you have no other protections. You have, maybe a firewall, maybe email security. It could be lots of different things. It depends on the scenario. Talk to your IT provider, but one single piece of software is unfortunately not a full defense. The other thing I wanted to mention here is required training. Training is pretty cheap, or it can be free, but a lot of companies I still are seeing they're not requiring all of their users to go through cybersecurity training on a routine basis. I highly, highly recommend that. Speaking of training, there's actually two options here at ComTech that are 100% free. The first one is our Connect event. So click the link below. You'll see it in the description below, but it's a free event. We do a lot of training at that event. We'd love to have you. We feed you. If you're watching this before September of 2024, if you're watching it after, we have an event every year. Still, leave a comment below. We'd love to have you. The second thing is, for training, we do also have a training here at ComTech where we actually come out to your office. We can do it remotely if we need to. We come out to your office and do pretty much a half-day training, and we go through all sorts of things: how password security best practices, how to create the best password, how to set up multi-factor, what does that mean, why you should do it. Now, before I finish this video, I did want to throw up here 3 things for paid, what I call paid basics. So these are some basics that you can do, but they do cost money. The first one is a routine third-party analysis. So if you've got a company and you already have, maybe you have an IT provider, but still having another third-party vendor come in and do an analysis to ensure ensure all the boxes are checked. Cybersecurity insurance, I've mentioned that I think a couple times in this video here, but cybersecurity insurance is becoming more of a big thing because it's not if you get hit by a cybersecurity event, it's when. So the cybersecurity insurance is certainly helpful. And then the final thing is practice runs. So as I just said, it's not if, but when. So have you as a company, have you guys as a management team thought about if we get hit by a ransomware event, or if one of our softwares that we use, like CDK or something like that, if they get hit by an event and they're down for 2 weeks, if your billing platform goes down or your ticketing platform goes down for 2 weeks, have you as a management team thought about this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to plan for that as best as possible. You can't plan for everything, but you can certainly try. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you, or reach out to our support. Have a great day.